All right. So we're down to the last final four, Tate?
The Final Four, the NFL Final Four, hashtag no March Madness.
Right. We got the Seattle Seahawks in a rubber match against the LA Rams in the NFC. And in the AFC, we've got the Denver Broncos, Bo Nixless Denver Broncos, and the AFC East champions, the New England Patriots. Dang. The Buffalo Bills, they couldn't hold it down no longer. Huh? They had to give it right back to the Patriots. I know they sick.
About
But anyway, yeah, because I mean the Patriots ran it for so long. Now they got to give it right back to
oh
the Patriots. Like now they're like, damn, we didn't do
no, but
anything
you
with
right back. I believe Buffalo won 5 straight.
yeah, but compare that to the 2 decades the
Oh
Patriots won.
yeah, I
Like,
think
and
the
we can
Patriots
run it
probably
off a
won
little
like
longer.
12 or 13 straight. Yeah, I do. But
Yeah,
now, no, but now it's just a battle. When the Patriots were there, it wasn't a battle. I mean, Allen battled with Brady when Allen was still young guy. You know,
hmm
now I think Buffalo's got off to a bad start, and that kind of put them behind the A ball.
right.
But Buffalo came back and beat them the last game. They needed some help to catch up, but Buffalo just dug a hole and couldn't catch them. But I mean, I think they'll compete. I'm not going to give the division to the Patriots.
All right. I mean, it's Miami had a shot. They couldn't do that what they supposed to do. In Buffalo, they got to figure out a new coach and a new vision.
And that's
Wow, the Patriots they kicking up.
and that's what it is, Pay. To me, I mean, Miami, and I hope not, but I believe which is where Pittsburgh is going, right?
hmm
I mean, yeah, we made it a couple years, and now we want to shake things up and change it, and now we going. We've never finished last in the division in the AFC North. Has been a division, never finished last. Next year's a distinct possibility, depending on what the Brown. Projections going to say the first is going to be the first losing season. The over under ain't going to be at that sweet mark like 8.5, right? It's going to be like 6.5. You know what I mean? So, hey, the projections going to have us bad. Now, can we be better than bad? I think so, but we'll see. But we're headed in that direction.
So yeah, so why we're talking about the AFC? Let's start with the AFC Championship game. Yet the Patriots flying over to the Rocky Mountains, Denver Broncos. They are a 4.5 point favorite at time. The total is 42 and a half. Jarrett Stidham is the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos this week. As you all know, Bo Nix injured himself on that final play in last week's game. Tate, how do you see this game going between the Patriots and the Broncos?
I think I tell people to be careful to count the Broncos out so fast,
hmm
especially making them you said 4.5,
4.5.
making them a 4.5 point home dog with that defense in that environment in at altitude. Um, I think that the defense, I think they can slow the game down, right? I don't know what to think about Jared Stidham's a former Patriot. I believe they drafted him. So there's a little bit of, even though he didn't pay for Harbaugh, I mean, there's a little bit of my old team revenge factor. And I believe he did play for, uh, is it Todd McDaniels? Who's the offensive coordinator for the Patriots? Josh McDaniels.
Josh
Josh
McDaniels, yeah.
McDaniels. He was there when Josh McDaniels was there. He could have something to prove. That defense is going to play. I mean, the Patriots were in a tough game last week against Houston, and they got 5 turnovers. I mean, so let's act like and Denver's defenses was ranked higher than Houston's by one spot. The 1 and 2 defenses. Houston played on the road. Denver playing at home. So I would be careful to count them out. I probably would pick the Patriots to win. I think you got the coaching matchup is going to be a really good one when you talk about Mike Vrabel and Sean Payton. It's going to be a really good coaching matchup. A defensive guy versus an offensive guy. Kind of like their expertise and mindsets on both sides of the ball. We're going to see some interesting stuff. I expect it to be a close game. If I'm picking the game, I can't see Denver losing by 5 at home. Even if they lose, They don't lose by 5. You said the over-under is 42. I think it's I don't know the forecast in Denver, but it's Denver in late January, which the weather won't affect New England. They're used to playing there, but they're used to playing sucking up that air like they're going to have to. I would take the Broncos with the points, and I have Denver winning that game 20-16. So I would take the under 2. That's how I see that pay. How I see it.
Yeah, the weather is going to be 25 degrees on at Sunday afternoon. As of right now, it's supposed to snow too. So factor all that in with the altitude. It might be a tough atmosphere for the new visiting Patriots. With that said, everything you said about Stidham is correct. The Stidham is a very seasoned backup quarterback. He's the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL. So that isn't something you should just sniff at. I mean, that means he's very highly sought after. Now, a lot of people are writing off the Broncos when Bo Nix got hurt, say, "Oh, well, there you go, Patriots going to the Super Bowl." Not so fast. Now, we weren't just praising this quarterback class earlier, but Bo Nix is a second-year player. I would not say that he's that far ahead of what Stidham is as a more seasoned NFL vet quarterback. I think they're about. I don't want to say their level, but I don't think there's too much of a fall off, if that makes sense. Basically, because Stidham has played in this offense before. Sean Payton is good at getting his guys prepared. Here's a stat for you. I heard this with Mike Florio. In the latter part of Drew Brees' career, he was 15-0 in games that Drew Brees missed with his
That's some Teddy Bridgewater, some Taysom Hill.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different guys that got involved in that. Yeah.
He knows how to scheme up those backup quarterbacks, get them prepared, and put them in a comfortable position to out there and execute and win games. So I can anticipate the same thing with Jason Stidham. He's started a lot of games in his career. Now, mind you, he's lost a lot of games in his starts too. And this is being the most important pressure-packed situations he's ever going to have to start. So you can take that with a grain of salt if you want to, but I would just put that out there, food for thought. I wouldn't go too far in ahead and putting anything down on the Patriots to cover that 4.5. In fact, I would actually bet up the Broncos to 6.5 because 4.5 is a little bit testy. But I am going to take the Broncos to cover the 4.5. I think there's something there. For one, like I said, Sean Payton, he knows how to get his guys prepared. He knows how to get those guys going in their direction. I do like the under in this game, just like you. 20-16 sounds about a good match because these both good defenses, even though the Broncos defense has been coming back to earth the last month of football. But they do have the home field. They do have the elements on their side. I would like to see that, but I'm also leaning towards the Broncos. They only shock some people. They might mess around and win this game. So I'll take the Broncos plus 4.5.
I can certainly see that. And real quick, before we move on to the next final game, I believe how it plays out. I believe, like you said, Sean Payton will draw Stidham up to be comfortable. You'll see a lot of Harvey. You'll see a lot of little dump-off passes to Harvey. I believe you'll see Evan Ingram be involved from the tight end position a little more than he has been throughout the season. And Cortland Sutton, one of those receivers, is going to make a big play because I think New England going to be playing in the box, playing Stidham not to be able to beat him. And Sean Payton has no problem dialing something up and taking chances. You know what I mean? We talking about a coach that came out at halftime and kicked the onside kick in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? That play last week that Denver got the touchdown on against Buffalo. They thought they were going to run the ball to for the field goal. You know what I mean? But they threw it deep in the end zone, got the pass interference. That caught Houston off guard. So Sean Payton will go there. Don't get it twisted. And I can see how Denver can win this game. And I definitely got him, like I said, I got him covering.
Would definitely not shock me. All right. You ready to move to the NFC?
Let's do it.
Oh, we talked about the AFC first. You did have to say, the Steelers, you were in the offseason. Same thing for the Bears. So let me go ahead and switch hats and take off my Bears hat because this is officially Cubs season for me. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on my new Cubs hat. First, so we have this the championship game in the NFC. We have these LA Rams going to Seattle to play the 12th man in the Seahawks. They are a 2.5-point dog. Total is 46.5. I'll start this one off. I don't see. I don't believe this line is as close as it is. Maybe because it's they split in the regular season. Maybe because they're division rivals and they're giving respect to this. And this is basically a pick'em game, but with a line that small. But to me, I think Seattle they're playing at a way better pace than what the Rams are playing right now. I don't want to disrespect the Rams because the last time they played, Puka Nacua did go off. He had like 12 catches for like 230 yards, something like that in the last time, which he didn't have last week against the Bears. I thought he would against their secondary. But Matt Stafford, he hasn't looked the same ever since the Carolina Panthers got to his finger. And I think that's a real thing. I think the really good defense from the Seattle Seahawks are going to take note. They're going to make life difficult for them. That front seven is going to be active. They're not going to. I mean, I don't expect them to blitz or get a lot of pressure because that's not really the nature of their defense. But they're going to play a very tough game. The offense for the Rams has been stagnant ever since he got his finger hit. So I like Seattle. I like Seattle to win this game by at least 7. So 2.5, it seems like gimme points to me. How do you see it?
I agree with everything you said, Pay, but except for Seattle by a touchdown. I think two things can be true, which is why I agree with everything you said outside the prediction. Seattle has looked good. They are playing good football, especially defensively. But am I wrong? Or 3 weeks ago, did Seattle win a game that the Rams clearly should have won if it wasn't for a punt return touchdown and a lucky 2-point conversion that they didn't even think was a 2-point conversion? Dude was picking up a failed 2-point conversion and got 2 points for it. What he thought was a failed 2-point conversion.
3 points separate them in the first 2 games. 3 points.
Yeah. And the Rams won the first one. Seattle won the second one, but the Rams should have won the second one. And in the second one, I think we saw the Sam Darnold I've been waiting on. Sam Darnold threw for under 150 last week, 1 touchdown. He's not doing nothing special. Aaron Rodgers had better stats than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was getting all kind of credit because of Seattle's defense and what Mike McDonald has done to the big defense and that run game was going to be minus Charbonnet, going to be minus him. So they're going to have that 2-headed monster with Kenneth Walker and Chardonnay. They're going to have Kenneth Walker and another guy. I don't know who it is. So when it comes down to that, I'm picking between the quarterbacks, man. I already told you who's league MVP already, man. Matt Stafford goes in there, gets Puka Nacua involved. I believe Corum and Williams in the run game and short passing game, which is extension of the run game, can get it done. And Sam Darnold don't scare me on offense. You stop Kenneth Walker, no Chardonnay, and double your boy over there in Jigba, shout out Ohio State wide receivers. Double him. What, you going to make Cooper Kupp beat you? And whoever their tight end is, I don't know him either. Give me the Rams, man, in a close game. Give me the Rams winning by 3. I'm going to say it's 24-21. Rams go to the 12-man field and upset the Seahawks.
You did remind me of something. While I was talking about the injury for the Matt Stafford, Darnold, he's also hurt. He had an oblique injury, which is why they did not lean on him at all last week. They was happy to let Kenneth Walker III carry the offense. Happy. There won't be
and Chardonnay, who won't be there this week.
Yeah, for the little bit of time Charbonnet was out there, they was happy to do that too. It won't be the case this time around because the Rams defense of their run defense it's pretty decent, especially when they come out in that 5-down lineman. As somebody just watched them last week, you would. It's hard to run against that type of defensive front. Jerry Verse and the rest of those guys, they can't get after your quarterback. So if they do have to put the ball in Darnold's hands to make some plays, could get tough. Now, Seattle's offensive line is not terrible. It's not great either. It's a functional offensive line. Can they hold off Verse and Brian Young and the rest of them? That could be the factor to that game.
And the one dude they got, I forgot his name, second-year player, drafted out of Florida State last year, defensive tackle.
For the Rams?
For the Rams.
Kobe. You talking about Kobe or Durant? You on mute.
Braden Fike.
Braden, okay.
Fisk, yeah, him.
Got it.
He's a monster in the middle.
You know what? Maybe I was a little aggressive with the touchdown. maybe I was. Based on their two previous
you said
matchups.
It's a divisional game. That too.
It is. Those
familiarity breeds some. What's familiarity breed? Something.
Contempt.
It's a saying. Yeah. Okay. So they both contempt each other, which means it's going to be a fight.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You know what? It should be a fight. We deserve that. I mean, both of these, all three of the last 3 games of the NFL season going to be played west of the Mississippi. So the West Coast people, they get to watch football and still have their night for them. So I guess we get the last game we get this weekend. It should be a good game. So I'm going to take my number down a little bit. I still got Seattle to win. I'm going to take it to about 3, 4, something like maybe even a late field goal to put them up 6. So to force the LA Rams to have to drive the field for a game with a touchdown. Maybe something like that happens, but a better game all around. But what do you think about the total? 46.5. You think it's going to be a shootout?
I say 20. I mean 20 to 17. Did I say a score for this one? I don't see it being a shootout. Yeah, I see the Rams winning a close one though.
Okay. The first time they played, it wasn't a shootout. I remember we were all predicting it's going to be a shootout because at that point, Seattle was lighting the league up and the Rams were doing what they was doing. And it was like a 13-12 game, something like that. I think Darnold threw like 5 picks. And the last time they played,
he's thrown 6 against the Rams this year. I think he threw close to a league high 14, half against the Rams. Let's say that about Sam Darnold's game against the Rams.
Well, it's not up or shut up time, Mr. Sam Darnold. You got to get that boogeyman off their shoulder.
Stop seeing ghosts. The ghosts just ain't in New York. They might be up. They might be in the Great Northwest.
Man, you better call Vecman, man. You got to go do something for you.
Who you gonna call?
Right. And that second time they played, it was a shootout. I already said that Puka had over 200 yards receiving. Won a couple of fantasy matchups by himself. So for me, I don't know. I think it's going to play the middle of those two outcomes. 46.5. I think it might slightly under. That's where I'm leaning. I'm leaning closer to a 2023 type game.
What'd you say?
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm around there.
Well, I see. That's where I'm leaning for that one. But yeah, we both like the Seahawks. Well, did you say Rams?
I said Rams. That point.
Okay.
Jack
okay.
Darnold will Darnold at some point. It seems like I remember him last year against the Lions. Remember that playoff game? Or that play for it all game? And then the playoff against the Rams. Against the Rams. What did he do against the Rams last year in the playoff play? He got sacked 9 times. And you just talked about the questionableness of the Seahawks offensive line. The Rams defense feel like, oh yeah, we got this dude. Chris Shula is like, yeah, we about to go out. I'm gonna go get this job in Pittsburgh. Y'all boys about to make me look really good right now. That's what's gonna happen. Give me the Rams all day now.
All right, we have a difference of opinion on both games. That's gonna make for a good weekend then. I don't know, man. something's drawn me to Seattle. I think they're just on a mission. They've looked out of all the playoff teams so far, they've looked the most complete. Maybe that's a facet of just who they were playing against. Maybe, but
they played one game, right? They played the 49ers.
Yeah, just one, and they blew them off the field.
Which they did a couple weeks prior to that, the last game of the season.
True. I admit it could just be a facet of who they was playing against.
Then I got to remember what the Rams was doing to the Seahawks the last game of the season before they got lucky.
They won by 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Who?
I think the Rams won that game. No, the Rams won the one-score game, the 13-12.
And the last game was one score.
Yeah, it was.
Sam Darnold took them down to kick a field goal for the win, or they had a late touchdown. Right. But it was like a 2 or 3 point game.
It was
like I said, they got a punt return and they got that extra 2-point conversion. It shouldn't have been came down to that. Is what I'm saying. Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions. The boy Shaheed saved his bacon in that lucky 2-point conversion. Otherwise, we talk about the Rams sweeping them.
Yeah. The Rams are on if I'm not mistaken, 8-game win streak. So, I mean, if they want to win the Super Bowl, they got to make it to 10.
The Rams lost to Carolina not long
ago. Not the
ago.
Rams. I meant Seattle. Seattle. They're on an 8-game win streak. So, I don't know, man. I like what they got going on right now. I think they're playing their best ball at the best time of the year. Seattle, they've been a little too up and down, but you know, that's how playoffs do it. Styles make fights, and these two, they have the styles to complement each other.
Hey, what's great one talking about? There's a huge difference between 13-3 and 41-6. So did they win the first game 13-3, the Seahawks and the 49ers? Is that what he's talking about?
Well, we know the last game was 41-6.
Yeah.
So 13-3, I believe that was the last matchup, which San Francisco, Seattle.
Yeah, but I mean, that last matchup, even if it was 13-3, I don't remember the score. Seattle totally dominated the game. I don't care what the score said. Chris McCaffrey was shut down. Brock Purdy didn't look good. I believe this past week they got like 3 turnovers inside down near the Seattle's San Francisco's on 30-yard line. One of them was inside to 10. They got to pick the first play of the game or something like that last week. Or kickoff run back. Shaheed again.
Going into that game, too, the hottest team in the league was the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy was the hottest quarterback in the league, and Seattle turned them inside out.
Going into that game, they had just beat you guys in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was averaging 37 points a game for the last 7 weeks.
I think Andrew got to San Francisco too, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a part of their makeup.
That's part of the game. Yeah, part of the all team. Yeah, but I mean, they went without Kittle. Those other games they played without Trent Williams. They played with him in the playoffs, but he wasn't a help. Mm-hmm. Ayuk been hurt all year. The boy Pearsall was hurt. I mean, San Francisco was man down all the time, multiple man down. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Seattle's looked good, but you know, like I said, they dominated both games, and the San Francisco offense probably gave them 17 to 21 of those points you're talking about. Great one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game, regardless. I think that's going to be the matchup of the. No matter who makes it to the Super Bowl, I think the NFC Championship game is going to be the best game of these last 3.
I see them both being good games. I think they both be close, competitive. I think you say that game was better. It'll be better because you got better quarterback name recognition. If we was looking at Bo Nix playing Drake May, you say, "Ooh, the 2 second-year quarterbacks going at it. These good defenses." That's the thing that drops that game down, and not from a must-see TV aspect, but overall, they both should still be very competitive, close games to see who goes to the Super Bowl. I think I have obviously the Rams versus the Patriots, which is a rematch Super Bowl, and you have the Broncos
and Seattle,
and that's a rematch Super Bowl. No, yeah, it is.
It is, yeah. From 10 years ago.
Yeah, because Russ beat Peyton Manning. Russ
Yeah,
beat Peyton Manning
that
in the Super Bowl
is.
and lost
That
to
is
Tom
what happened.
Brady in the
Yep.
next one.
I had a brain fart for my second. I'm thinking of Russ in the Denver Broncos uniform. Like, wait a second.
Nah, Russ was in Seattle uniform. And
Right.
he was great.
It wasn't
But
really Russ that beat him. It
that's
was
what I'm saying. So wait, we want to talk about the Legion of Boom when it's Russ, but when Sam Darnold, we ain't gonna talk about the dark side.
well, for that game in particular, Cam Chancellor won that game in the first quarter when he decleated what was that Demarius what was
Thomas.
his last name?
R.I.P.
When he
Demaryius
decleated him in the first quarter, game was over at that point. Broncos didn't want to play no more. That game was over.
Yeah,
Russ had to do nothing but hand the ball off from that point on.
But yeah, man, should be a good week of football, man. Anything else on your sports menu this weekend since we all might be snowed in?
No, that's about it, man. I got to have some other stuff going on the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. We got to have our season wrap-up show that should be popping up on your feeds this Saturday. Then I got to have a refresher of Cubs Talk. I'm going to go live and talk about the whole offseason right before Pitchers and Catchers report, which is almost, 3 weeks away?
Yeah, February, middle of it.
Yeah, man. Time be flying.
You guys lost Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers. That's going to affect you guys at all? Or you just going to plug somebody in and keep on cubbing?
Well, it's going to affect our defense in the right and outfield, especially Kyle Tucker was a Gold Glover. Well, I didn't want Kyle Tucker back at the price he wanted. Kyle Tucker was he didn't do enough for me to be okay with signing him to what at that time when we got him, he wanted like 400, 500 million. So I'm like,
he didn't get that from the Dodgers, but he got $60 million a year though.
He did. I think there's some deferrals in that one too, but the Dodgers playing with different type of money than everybody else. You know, they're that guy. They're that guy in Monopoly who buys all the railroads and just takes everybody money. They got different money than the rest of us. We got a penny pinch. Everybody they just doing something different. So if he goes with Dodgers, you just gotta say you good. We good with that. Go ahead, bro. But the Cubs ended up replacing him with Alex Bregman. They got another starting. They got a bunch of pitchers this offseason, so they're gonna be competitive. Right now, the over/under for the Cubs is over 91.5 for their win total. So
I saw 88. We're in the same division with the Reds, so now it could be a different site, that the people are reporting from. But I saw 88 because the Reds was 83.
It went up to 91.5 after the Brewers sold off some more of their pieces.
Oh yeah, so. Okay. Well, yeah, you more recent than me. I'm going back like a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. So they got we talked about this in multiple seasons with football and baseball and basketball. When your window's there, you got to strike when the iron's hot. The window's open for the Cubs, so gotta go.
Agreed. Yankees got money too. Yes, they do. Guardians haven't done anything. Great one said Guardians haven't done anything to fix their hitting. Shaking my head. I know it is. The Reds still trying to get a big bat. Sounds like we talking to Eugenio Suarez, trying to get him to come in there and be a full-time DH. I would like that in our ballpark. I would.
In that ballpark.
He had the third most home runs last year. We're talking about coming back home for him. He played Cincinnati for quite a few years. He's a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I like the move.
He's a Cub killer. I don't want that.
I like him better than not getting anybody. But yeah, just plug him in as a full-time DH. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so, check out, go subscribe, tap into the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. I can't watch all the video. I watch all the TikToks and all the short reels and stuff, man. Stuff is real good, Pay. Like all that stuff. As far as us goes over here in the know-it-alls, we'll be back Sunday with our show, and they probably still won't have decided who's going to be in the Super Bowl, but that's Sunday. So it'll be hopefully an AFC Championship game recap. It'll probably end during our show or right before our show starts, and preview the NFC Championship game in the last minute and talk about, just whatever football question stuff the live chat has going on. We'll just interact and get ready to sign off and go watch the rest of that Seahawks-Rams game. Looking forward to that. As far as what's coming up, Pay, for us, got some new shows. Great jump off, man. I don't know if you guys checked out Wednesday. So my Wednesday is gonna be real busy, right? So we got to Smash the Gas at 7:00. Myself, Big G, and Kirby. We got Pump Your Brakes at 8:00. Myself, Big G, and Shannon. Big G is going to be leaving Pump Your Brakes at the end of the month. At least that's the plan as of last I heard. And we did a show Wednesday after that. Myself and Devin, if you guys saw Devin on the show with us, we did the Steelers Nightcap. Steelers Nightcap is going to be a new show we do on Wednesday evenings for now because she's on the West Coast. But man, lots of Steeler knowledge. I'm sure you guys saw that. So tap into that on your Wednesday evenings. Got a new show coming up, Pay. I'll be doing this Brotherhood up on Game. Be doing a show with my brother Damien. Going to talk all kind of stuff, sports talk, shop talk, real talk. Talk about, the NBA, football, some baseball. It's always open for Pay to join us because he's a baseball guy. B Dirt. You might see any of us on there, but just new content, new show. We looking forward to see what that's like. And this stuff is probably going to start next month at some point. We got a show coming up called Fixing the Game. We're gonna break down teams, play GM, so to speak, podcast GMers, general managers. Gonna break down people's teams. They have questions of what we would do, rank them far as get a full service job on that, or get some maintenance, or oh man, your stuff is in good working condition. We're gonna break it down. Pay. I talked to one of your frustrated Chicago sports fan people, man. As it stands right now, the homie Ricky Sway gonna be hosting on that show with me. So looking forward to that one. And lastly, we're gonna have a new show, and all these will be weekly shows. We're not anything we're just committed to doing like every other day or every day. It's called the All-Time Matchup. The All-Time Matchup show will be breaking down in him against who's better, right? Is Jordan better than LeBron? Who's, far as this graphic goes, the better rapper, Eminem or Kendrick Lamar? The better all-time quarterback, Brady, Joe Montana. Man, we talk about actors. We're looking at Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Denzel Washington. Who's the better musician of these guys we see up here? Elvis, Prince, Michael Jackson? Like, who is it? So go talk about all kind of different stuff. I think it'll be a fun show, to be an interactive show. So you guys will get to comment and talk about stuff. So we're looking just forward to, and you go get all the draft content and stuff as draft season approaches. Still reporting on doing all our Steelers shows and all our football shows and stuff. Homie still will be here. I talked to Pay and B Dirt again when nobody answers your thread and the thread stays quiet. I said, man, you guys want to bring overtime back? Crickets. 4 days later, still crickets. So we'll talk about doing something with that too. But yeah, man, just looking forward to a off season in spring, going from March Madness coming up. So don't get bored. The Super Bowl about to happen. Football season about to go to the off season. We're still gonna have coaching news. We're gonna have football news for everything going on football. Transitioning to the basketball, college and NBA, then baseball. The next thing we know, it's gonna be the draft and training camp. So, and all the other stuff in between. So rock with us. Appreciate each and every one of you guys for tapping in on your Friday night. We went a little long. I thought with just me and Pay, we'd have much less bloviation, but obviously we found enough to talk about to be here for an hour and 20 minutes. But we great get out of here, Pay. Well, go ahead and take us home, man.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay warm. Enjoy the games. Peace out.
Mamba out.
Y'all come back now. Here.